when fair reporting isn't actually fair, a critical look at students' reporting practices. Today, I'm going to look at this article and explore how it plays out in real classrooms. Have you ever read a report card comment and thought, this sounds better than what's actually happening? Type yes or no in the chat. The policies and principles for fair student assessment practices for education in Canada is saying that reporting should be accurate, balanced, and useful, not overly negative and not overly positive. So let's start simple. What is this policy trying to prevent? A, too much praise. B, too much criticism. C, both. Or D, unsure. The answer is C, not too much criticism and not too much praise. The goal of this policy is to help students, parents, and teachers actually understand what to do next. It values accuracy, clarity, honesty, and next steps. But in my experience, I've been asked to change report card language to make it sound more positive. For example, instead of clearly stating a concern, the language becomes more vague. The intention is to avoid upsetting parents, but the result is that the message becomes unclear. And what happens when language is unclear? A, parents misunderstand. B, students don't get support. C, problems continue. Or D, all of the above. Please type your answer in the chat. Yes, the answer is D, all of the above. So this creates a gap between what the policy promises and what's actually happening. The policy itself explains that unclear or biased reporting reduces the validity of assessment. So when we soften language, we may actually be making assessment less fair. In this article, The Appraisal of Teachers' Comments on Primary Students' Reports, a Systematic Functional Linguistics, it really stood out to me as it said that when teachers write report card comments, they often use generic or formulaic language. So instead of being clear and specific, comments can become repetitive and vague. When language becomes generic, it sounds good, but it doesn't actually tell the parents what's going on. So even though the intention is positive, the clarity gets lost. And this one was huge. In this presentation, Parents' Interpretations of Report Cards, Garbled in Transmission by Dr. Daryl Hunter, the research looked at how parents interpret report cards, and the findings were clear. Communication is muddled, meaning confusing. So even when teachers think they're being clear, parents may not interpret it the same way. If the language is softened or unclear, parents may think everything is fine, when actually there are concerns. So the issue isn't just writing, it's how that writing is understood. And this is where things get really interesting. In the Elementary Teachers Federation of Ontario's Professional Judgment Guidelines for completion of elementary progress report cards, which was adapted from Growing Success, the policy actually tells us to use language that parents understand. But at the same time, teachers are using their professional judgment. And this is where the tension happens, because in practice, teachers may be told to soften their language to avoid being too direct. So even though policy calls for clarity, the system can push towards being vague. Therefore, this isn't just one issue. It's multiple tensions happening all at once. Am I being clear? Am I being professional? Am I being kind as a teacher? Is my principal going to be happy with my report cards? Are the parents going to understand my report cards? If information when reporting becomes unclear, support can be delayed. Needs may be misunderstood, and this becomes a social justice issue, not just a communication issue. Therefore, be honest. What do you think is more common? Honest reporting or softening reporting? Let's look at this example together. This is a report card comment for a grade 2 student. Liam is continuing to develop his reading skills. He is working towards recognizing familiar words and is beginning to use strategies during guided reading. With continued practice and support, Liam will continue to grow. Now, I want you to think about this as a parent reading it for the first time. What do you actually learn from this? Because on the surface, it sounds positive. But if we look more closely, what level is Liam reading at? Is he significantly behind? What specific skills are missing? How urgent is the concern? We don't really know. So, what is unclear in this comment? Is reading level, specific concerns, urgency, or all of the above? The answer is all of the above. The comment didn't really specifically answer any of those questions. So the application to practice, what should we do? We should be clear, but respectful. Avoid vague language. Focus on evidence and provide next steps. The goal isn't to be harsh, but it is to be clear and supportive. So here are my discussion questions. Number 1, is softened language actually fair to students and families? And question 2, who benefits when reporting is unclear? Conclusion. Fair assessment is not just about kindness. It's about clarity, honesty, and action. Sometimes what feels nicer is actually less fair.